What is up, everybody? It is the Dude Comedy Podcast. It is Thursday morning, and we have
Someone had their C4, man.
we had our first riff in the
Ooh,
group.
Jimmy is not happy today.
So hold on, let me set this up, okay? So Burns,
You got to just go word for word in Skype.
no, I'm not gonna, because I'm kind of on Jimmy's side on this.
Uh-oh.
So sometimes, let's see. So Jimmy and Burns typically aren't on the show that much, but I get this from. Oh, that's to Jimmy. Let me see. Let me find the Dude Comedy Skype chat. We're talking to Colby said. We're talking about the podcast. Burns and Jimmy every morning when they stream, it opens up with them trying to figure out what time to play. Yada yada yada. And then.
Yep.
An hour and a half later, after Jimmy and Burns figure out this stream situation, Colby comes in and says, I can do the show whenever. Let me know. Burns responds and says 12:30-ish my time, which is 10:30, which is 10:30 whatever time. And then Colby says, book it. Well, I mean, we are me and Colby already have the assumption that, typically Jim's and, one of them won't be there. Typically, both of them won't be there. So Jimmy responds after Colby said, book it. He said, not in the mood. You guys enjoy. Burns, congrats on the pre-engagement. Oh, was I supposed to say that?
Oh, no, we can talk about it.
Oh, sorry. And then
Too late now.
who is always one giving Jimmy shit, and I go, LOL, not in the mood, ? He goes, yep, I could do it, and I have time. I'm just not in the mood. I go, and so I didn't know that Burns and Jimmy gotten, some type of beef on fucking.
We just assumed Jimmy was just.
So let me just break down.
Hold on, let me finish this. You chill out for a second. So I'm thinking that this has something. I'm like, what the fuck? That's just like kind of a slap in the face to the show. Like I'm actually like a little bit irritated, and so I said, you feeling sassy this morning, eh? And he said, just in a fuck it mood. And Colby comes in and says, power moves, Jimmy. And then Burns, and this is where I'm like, oh, Burns goes, Burns trying to make it better. That explains the rage quit. That explains the rage quit earlier. Hope you feel better, bud. And so that's, yeah.
And then keep going. Then you got to go with Jimmy's next one. Chicago
Okay.
goes, LOL, he rage quit. And then you got to read Jimmy's.
Yeah, Jimmy goes, wasn't rage. Tired of being the excuse every time someone dies or fucks up. I can go do that on my own. Not any fun to do, so just stop doing it. So they got a fucking Fortnite fight.
And now Jimmy isn't on the show.
I said, we need you on the show to get you fired up. Yes. He goes, nope, not. So he's set to his ways. Nope, not today. Sometimes people need to be able to admit they do things wrong or play right or don't play right. LOL. Gets old always hearing it's someone else's fault. And I go, and at that point I realized, oh, he's talking about fucking Burns, like deep.
I'll explain what made him rage quit, though.
Okay, let me read this one last part, which was his last. I said, oh, damn, LOL, Burnsy, coffee
I love
cough.
Kyle's sarcastic, kind of sarcastic pulls that you could tell. It's weird because when some people text, you can't tell like voice, but when Kyle texts that, that he's just being sarcastic.
Oh,
as
for
fuck.
sure.
Well, I was annoyed at first because I'm like, well, that's fucking bullshit. Like, especially like when we just got paid yesterday, that he just out of nowhere is like, I ain't fucking coming on, even though I could be there and I have time, I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. And then he goes, Burns and Joker. I go, coffee cough Burns. He goes, Burns and Joker, and they know it. Both are super tryhards, which is fine, but never admit fault in game. Literally instantly blame me every time. Just got tired of it. Not fun to play, and I need to have some fun as doing streams every day is a grind. All good. I'll get over it and do my thing. And I said, sounds like they're picking on you. I'll settle this. What platform is Highlander on? All right, Burns. Jimmy's put it out there.
Hey, the table is set, Burns.
He
All
has
right,
no
so
rebuttal to any of this, so dance
That's
floor is
it.
yours.
I mean, he can come on and defend himself next time, or he can pop in here now. But so we always give each other a hard time. Like even when all four of us are playing, we kind of just rib each other, and it's all in good fun. It's never malicious or anything like that. And so we're down to like the last like 2 or 3 teams, and we're kind of on a hill. And Jimmy, I'm like, Joker, we got this team that's looking at us right in front of us. Should we just build up and glide on them? And Joker's like, yeah, let's get them. And I was like, okay, let's go. Like figuring Jimmy would follow, and Jimmy's like, there's a team like pushing this way. I was like, okay. Like he didn't shoot at him once. Like didn't even take a shot at him to like hold him off. I'm like, dude. He's like, what are you guys? And then he goes, what are you guys doing? Like, dude, we're fighting a whole team over here. And then he just quits.
So then you guys lost, and
we got second.
And you proceeded to say
he quit. He quit after he died.
He just turned everything off.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you were giving him shit the whole stream.
Could have been.
I feel like it's when I watch you and Jimmy play, like, and sometimes I'll do this to Colby, like it's almost like the little brother mentality. Like when me and Colby play flag football and like he messes up, like I don't even mean to, because I get so like caught up in the spirit of like the competitions, you know, just like Fortnite, where I probably say shit that's like just a fucking dick thing to say. You know, Colby knows that sometimes. Like
I know that you, for flag football, I know that you'll always be like, "Damn it!"
But also, like I like hold like I think it's because you hold him to like higher standards as well. You know, so it's kind of like that little brother mentality. I've seen you do that stuff to Jimmy, where it's like you just overly like you would never lay into like the way that you, when I get on my cell phone, like you do that shit when I'm on my cell phone, but that's like deserved, you know. But like
that's funny.
But I totally get it, but I don't.
Hold on. So I got Jimmy's stream up. I'm going to the moment where he quits.
He quit his full stream or the game.
It was the game mostly. Like he wasn't playing bad like the whole game, like the whole stream or anything like that. I was just like.
He almost made it 2 hours. It looks like.
I think it was I think when Joker's there too, because Joker always like doubles down on whatever, and so it's probably just like you were probably like, "What are you doing?" And the Joker's probably like, "What the fuck are you doing?" You know, I'm sure it's let's play the footage.
Okay. So if I go, how do I do it again? Okay, screen share. All right. So
I don't know. We haven't done this for a while.
Share screen, this screen.
It's gonna be towards the end of his stream, so
yeah, I got it.
Oh, let me go.
Can you guys see that screen?
Yeah, let me.
Okay, now let me get.
Screen. Okay, yeah, this is towards the end of the game, I think.
Yeah. This is 2 teams left.
All
right. I'm gonna test and make sure you guys can hear this.
Okay.
Can you hear that?
It's really like choppy on the screen.
All right, we can hear it. Yeah.
What? That guy is way closer. Dude, what are you talking about, man? That's what I'm talking about, shooting. Was it way? He was behind us, like I said. I know they were behind us. That guy was charging me.
Like, look, we're being Joker are nowhere near him.
I know. Jeez, I said behind us 3 times. Yeah, I know you can't blame me for him shooting you. I literally told you guys they're behind us. And they weren't on us, they were on another mountain.
I'm waiting for Burns to die because that's probably what he really says something. Because Burns didn't say shit the whole time, but I know right when Burns dies, he's gonna be like, "Fuck you, Jimmy."
That's what I'm waiting for too.
So right now, you guys, if you're not watching, Burns is sitting here battling at a fight. Jimmy's dead. Joker's almost dead, but I guarantee they both fucking lay into.
Oh, he just turned it off.
Oh shit.
He just turned
stream.
That's the end. Yeah, he just ended his stream right there.
He didn't even say bye or nothing.
No, he just left.
Hey, that moment, Burns, is pretty much exactly how you said it. Watch Jimmy's face here when that happens.
You could tell. Yeah, you could tell he was irritated.
Like me and Joker are nowhere near that fight. We wouldn't have fought someone else. Like we told him, we're flying on this other team, and he's like, "Oh, these guys are coming this way."
Fuck.
He was so. Joker, who's probably listening, well, he's listening right now, not like the second, but at some point listening, he probably realized that wasn't really at Burns. He's definitely pissed at Joker. He just
oh yeah. Well, for that part, we don't know. I'm sure there are some other moments where Burns had.
Also, it doesn't help that Burns, every time you go live, you said carrying the worst Fortnite player at Jimmy.
That's what you said.
Was the other day.
Oh fuck. Damn.
Beef, man.
So real quick, So whatever, we'll settle this beef later. But it did seem like it was more at Joker for that exact moment. You could tell Jimmy was pretty irritated. So kind of cool last night. I've had people come to the same group of kids, your fans, come to my house for the last like 4 or 5 years every single night. They're pretty smart about it because it would be creepy if they just came up and knocked on my door and said, "Hey, is Kyle here?" So they come every single Halloween, and they're on like a 4 or 5 year stretch. I take a picture with them every time. We only have 2 of the pictures this current year, but it's pretty funny because the first picture that we took with them was when my dog Bear was like basically just like a puppy. So it was kind of cool. But it's like so when they were like 15. They started coming and, they're all like, yeah, we're in, like, we go to Green River. And that's why I asked you about Safeway, Cole, because they, like, 4 of them work at Safeway.
Oh, so they have to know Andy's.
Yeah. Once I said Marianne, they're like, oh, she's awesome, yada, yada, yada. So pretty interesting. Burns, do you still get recognized or anything?
Sometimes.
When you go out, do you go outside much?
Do I go outside much? No, I wouldn't say I get recognized when I go out in public, no.
Yeah. But
I don't say it even happened that often when it was like at its height. Every once in a while. I mean, the weirdest one I had was like someone running up to me in the airport.
Fuck.
But Burns, you were more gameplay, less face cam, right? Whereas Kyle, you were like more face cam.
Yeah, but like, it wasn't like I didn't show my face or anything.
Yeah. I just mean because there's been like that we told the movie theater story where the dude literally waited for the movie to end to like hump Kyle and was like.
I still say, like, I still get recognized just as frequent as like my peak. It's pretty interesting. Like, I still like sometimes like one day we went out and I had like 3 or 4 people in one day, but it all depends on like it's all like it's random when you go to like the grocery store and stuff. But sometimes I can just tell when somebody like there's gonna be like a group of people. I'm like, that's like the right demographic that would have watched my stuff, or lots of people, everybody that still talks to me, they're like, dude, I watch your shit every day still. I'm like, fuck, man, like how, like what, like there's not really like that much stuff to watch. But then I had like we went to a coffee stand and one of the girls at the coffee stand, she was like looking at me funny. I'm like, is she feeling me right now or something? And then she's like, how often? This was last week. She's like, how often do you get recognized? And I'm like, oh, that's why you're looking at me weird. It's always funny. You make eye contact with the person and you just know, you're like, I know that dude just recognized me right now. Then they come up and will say something, but it's still fucking cool, It's just weird when you're in like a bad mood and don't feel like talking to anybody and you got somebody that's like, oh my God. And I'm like, hey man, what's up? Like,
you're like, hey, fuck up.
Like, I just, yeah.
Hey Burns, hit us with that political news. I'm gonna go.
Oh shit.
Well, that's not. I guess it's sort of political, but like, you guys hear about the guy who it was like this 20-year-old kid and his dad.
So
right?
I saw that what was trending, and
his name is Jacob Wall. First of all, before I even start this, to know who this guy is, like just reading a little bit, is that he is actually banned by the Federal Trade Commission of Arizona. Like this dude can't even open an E-Trade account because he started a hedge fund at like 19 years old and like it was just all a scam. So he was like being investigated for securities fraud. So he's just banned from all.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, so he's like banned from all financial institutions. Like this dude can barely open a bank account.
I got a good lead up story after this.
So like, there's like a special counsel who's like investigating all the Russia stuff with Trump or whatever, Robert Mueller.
Yeah.
So this guy and his dad decided that they like were tweeting out that they had credible sources saying that there was going to be women coming forward saying that they were sexually assaulted by him.
That's assault, brother.
To like try to discredit him, but like before they could even break the story, like a couple of the women that they said were going to be coming forward, like passed on the emails they got from this guy, and they were like offering them money to like pretend that this guy had sexually assaulted them.
Oh
no.
And he actually had like an intelligence company that he set up called like Surefire Intelligence, and they looked at like the website of it, and it was like the email connected to the domain was Jacob Wall's email. And like their staff, like their like chief intelligence like researcher was like some supermodel like headshot, and another guy that worked there was just a headshot of Christopher Waltz, the guy from Inglourious Bastards. And it was just all these fake people that worked for them or whatever. And so like, and then there was like a phone number on it, right? And so like the media was like, well, let's call this let's call this company and just see what the hell's going on. It goes to a voicemail that belonged to his mom.
Oh,
What?
jeez.
How old is this kid? Is it a
20.
kid?
He's
Oh,
20.
And he's
God.
obviously somewhat smart if you're starting a hedge fund like scam. Like you got to be somewhat smart to be able to do that. Like I wouldn't know how to do that.
Yeah, but so basically this guy is trying to obstruct a federal investigation.
So it sounds like he needs to go
Makes
to
it-
prison.
Yeah, so like
what's his dad? How's his dad involved in it?
his dad's a just like a conspiracy theorist guy, and like their like source was like a Republican lobbyist. And so they were actually saying that they were gonna, even after all this stuff was called out as just a fraud, a hoax, it's like the most hilarious like bumbling of a scam ever. Like just obviously this man's a fucking moron. He still goes through and says there's going to be a press conference at this Holiday Inn with the accusers gonna come in and talk.
Holiday Inn.
Yeah, so these reporters like get together today. It was just today, and they were like making up like, oh, the woman did. She fears for her life, so she went and caught a different flight, and you know she's just fleeing from the whole situation. And like, there's just nothing. They just showed up with no one. And then the last question or whatever, they're like taking questions after their whole nonsense spiel, and like some guy, he's like, yeah, in the back, what's your question? And he just goes, are you guys ready for federal prison?
What do they say? What do they say?
They're just like, no. It's like, dude, you're going to jail.
You're going to jail.
Wow.
That's funny. So yeah, that's one of those things like this is how bad I am with like news nowadays. Like I actually took a screenshot of it. I clicked on I get my news from Twitter. I'll admit that. Like that's where if something happens, if I
Hey,
don't,
ain't nothing wrong with that in 2018.
that's like my only source. Like if I don't see it there, I'm not watching it on TV or anything like that. So today there was that story about the dude. Let me show you what I clicked on instead. Instead, I clicked on this Kylie Jenner dresses as a flip thing, and I took a screenshot because I was like, "That's pretty funny that this like they know what they're doing." I'm like, I could either read about this case, or I could click on that, which is a real thumbnail.
Damn, her body changed so much.
It's crazy.
Ma-
There's also a
maturity.
Logan Paul story on here.
About what? Tell it to me.
I didn't click that one. I just took the screenshot because I was gonna make a funny tweet that was like, "How to get my attention to read the news 2018."
So what's crazy is like you got shit like that, like people that are like blatantly like making up shit that's 100% obvious, but then you got people like Brendan fucking Dassey who will be sitting in prison for the rest of his fucking life over something he obviously didn't commit. So you guys have seen Making a Murderer, right?
Yeah, we talked about this a little. I haven't seen the second one though.
So, but you've seen like the interview that basically fucked over Brendan Dassey. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand how any like sane person could watch that interview and be like, "Oh, yeah, that looks legit. It looks like he legitly like confessed." And it's crazy.
sad.
Watch Making a Murderer. The second part is actually way better because they dive into every single piece of evidence and like recreate it and do all this stuff and not for mainly for Stephen Avery and the whole case in general, because Brendan Dassey, the only thing that was on him was the people that were interviewing him or whatever. What the fuck's the word?
Interrogation.
That were interrogating him. Like that is literally they're like, did he do it? Do you want to get out of here? Did he do it? Let us know. And like the dude is retarded. And so that's literally the only thing
Literally,
that's on him.
like-
There's no piece of evidence or anything that even suggests that he had any part to do. But it's crazy because I don't get like some of the, like it scares the shit out of me because some of these like lawmakers and like courts, so basically what happened with Brendan Dassey, you heard that he got his conviction got reversed, right? So
Yeah,
it got
and then they
reversed,
appealed it
and
all,
then the
right?
appeals process went all the way to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court wouldn't take the case, and so it reverted back to the most previous high court, which was to uphold the conviction. So he literally can't do it. The only thing that he could do is if they actually convict the actual murderer.
Yeah, so he's fucked now. All of his appeals are exhausted.
Yeah, he's
right?
fucked, so he can't really. So basically, but Stephen Avery, they're still like this really high, like top lawyer who's gotten tons of people off is taking the case, and the show kind of ends with without they don't. It kind of seemed like it ended like unfinished because it's not like they didn't get denied by any court or anything. They and there was no like final resolve, but it's just crazy that I think that all the people that in the first place that convicted Brendan Dassey, and then it got appealed by actual smart people, and then it went back and the appeal got retracted. But it's like, how does somebody look at that video, the whole video, and not realize like what's going on? Like all the evidence and everything that he says in the video is stuff that he was fed to by the person interrogating him. They're like because at first he's like, we cut her, and like she didn't get fucking cut, she got shot in the head. Or supposedly, they don't even fucking know she got that's just what the theory was, because they burnt the body. They didn't find the body. They just found like bone crumblies, So it's pretty crazy to me. Like people high up that you should view as like intelligent people look at that and be like, looks legit to me. Like, and that's like why this like the justice system is so fucked.
I'm not even. It sucks for him, but I'm not surprised that the Supreme Court wouldn't take the
well,
case.
they only take like a super small percentage.
Well, it's like you think about it, like it's a Netflix show that's pretty popular. There's a lot of like culture around it. Like, a lot of people watch it, so it's pretty.
Yeah.
Like, we're not gonna take this because it's just too.
Yeah, imagine like
it's almost like that hurts him a little bit that it's so popular and stuff.
Well, so what's cool? Like, so the lawyer that's doing it now, like she's found evidence that's basically like if they would have showed this, at trial, like there's no way he would have been convicted.
He can't even get a retrial.
I don't know if they're to that point yet. She's still gathering all the.
Yeah,
I know.
Well, I mean, Brendan Dassey. Is he?
Yeah, no. So basically, when his thing got reversed, the state had the option to do a retrial, to drop charges, or to appeal. Yeah. And they appealed, and then they ended up winning that appeal along.
Did it go? So when you appeal, it starts at the lowest, like District 1 court or whatever. And it goes like 9. It's like 9 courts before you get to the Supreme Court, I think.
Yeah, it was a long, drawn out process, but even to like now, like they show like him with phone calls on their like calling his like mom and stuff, and they're just like like he's just a dumb dude, and it's just like I feel like I could have convinced him that he did the crime, just like how dumb he was, and it's exactly what they did, because when you interrogate somebody, you want the reason to really pin that on them is you want them to say shit about the crime that only he would know. Then that's when you know that they did it. So you don't feed them like
they were like feeding him answers. Like,
yeah, they're like he's like because they basically convinced him that because in the interview he's like he thought he was gonna like get out of this like interrogation and go back
watch WrestleMania.
Yeah, and go watch WrestleMania. Like he didn't like even with admitting it, he thought he was gonna just leave and watch WrestleMania. Like that is obviously somebody that's not competent enough to be doing this.
I wouldn't even say he's competent enough to even face trial.
No, he's a fucking slug, dude. He's a nice kid.
Did you guys ever watch on Netflix? I know it was a while ago. I talked about it. It was that show Staircase.
Oh, I've heard about that. Like, it was like what 3 different women he was married to, like all
two.
that.
It was 2.
Yeah, 2. But it's kind of the same thing. Like, just the appeal process. I mean, you can see it. I know it's a documentary and it's like kind of made to dramatize it, but you see him when he goes to jail and he looks like an older but like a younger old guy.
Yeah.
By the time he gets to his actual appeal and like everything's getting thrown out, he's old as shit. Oh, it's like he sat there for like I don't want to guess, but it was a long time.
Did he go free?
Yeah, because what happened was the expert witness that did like the blood spatter. It turned out that like 88% of the cases that he did, he like were fraud. Like he lied basically.
No,
so
shit.
like that was the biggest piece that like
that was in the show, or that was something you read after.
No, that was in the show.
Oh,
that was in the show.
I watched it, but
it got really slow, like episodes 6 through like 8 or 9, and it got like I had to finish it.
So basically, what happened for the show that Colby's talking about? This dude, his wife fell down the stairs and like. She
was drunk and fell down the stairs and died.
And he was outside and he came inside and he found her and he tried to like resuscitate her and all this stuff. And so they had this like big trial, and then I mean the gashes on her head. She had huge gashes in her head that were really questionable. But a previous marriage of his, the same exact thing happened where his wife fell down the stairs.
Yeah, and died.
But nobody questioned it because it was, the first time, But the dude had just something off with him, like
he was a nonfiction, or he was a fiction author of like stuff too. So he was like known to like write creepy stuff, I believe. So it was like, yeah, he had something wasn't right.
Yeah.
And he always like, he was a millionaire and stuff,
Yeah,
so
he was a really rich dude. And he just had like weird mannerisms, but they did find out he was gay.
Yeah, he got caught being gay. That was like one of the things in it. But then like the other thing that was weird, and this is like kind of spoiling the show, but not really.
It's not. I don't say it's like it's a must watch. I mean, it was really good, but it was like
I wouldn't go back and watch it. Like,
yeah. But I think he did it personally.
I can't comment. I haven't seen it.
Oh,
I just think there was too many things that were like too convenient. It's almost like how Making a Murderer is like, it's a documentary, so I feel like it was portrayed to make him look more innocent than he was.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah,
so I look at it like that way. Like if I'm making this movie, it's like what the whole Shane Dawson thing, where everyone's like, you made this whole thing to make Jake Paul look really good, but it's like if you're Shane Dawson and you have more views in a month than like the best Netflix show on a YouTube thing, of course you're gonna do that. Like, it's not your fault. Like, that's what these guys did in this documentary, is they made the dude seem a little bit more innocent than he probably was.
Yeah. But that's kind of what they did with the Making a Murderer Part 1. Like, they left out some like they said like the most important thing was Stephen Avery's sweat was on the fucking hood latch of her car. But then this new lawyer came in and basically just destroyed that whole thing. Like, they said that they found like, however they measure particles on something like 1.8 nanofucking grams, when really they redid the test and everything, and like the most that they could get out of it was like 0.08, just some, or not like it's just some just fractional number that they, unless somebody planted something on that they would not have got.
Then there's like the biggest like, hey, maybe this is a red flag, is there's like the hole in the blood thing where you definitely
so basically she also, this lawyer's cool because she even says to her clients like if you did it, don't fucking hire me because I'm gonna pinpoint this on you, if that happens and you're wasting your time. So the vial with the hole in it, basically it was from she hunted down and found out who did that and like why. It was for some different tests because they found out where, supposedly the blood that they got, where they got that, and everything. I guess it's fucking cool. It's more just like evidence based. They do cut to like stuff about the family and stuff here and there, but and then she actually towards the end she pins the murder on two people. It's pretty cool. Well, so like the boyfriend was kind of sketchy, but they found out that the boyfriend had something that was inside of her car that she would only have had, while she was out, like right before she had murdered. So like it's fucking cool. I don't want to give it away, but they ended up like pinning it on two murder, and like the whole story like makes sense. Like there's nothing along the lines of the story now that just like that don't make sense. Like it with it being Stephen Avery, like there's a lot like so the brother, Brendan's brother, they figured out that because he was like the star witness. He said he saw the girl that got murdered at the house through his window, and then they started diving into him. Well, the investigators for the original trial had found like pictures of dead, like a terabyte drive on his computer. Probably not that much because it was a long time ago, but like thousands of like pictures of like dead bodies, like mutilated women, and like all this stuff. And they didn't give that
found originally.
They didn't. No, they found it originally, but they held it. They called it something else. And like the case files, they said it was like files from Brendan's computer, and it wasn't Brendan's computer. It was his brother's computer, and they kind of hid it because it obviously would have. They didn't give that evidence to the defense, and that's like this new trial, or this new lady's like main point is like It's like that's unconstitutional to not give all the evidence to the defense, and so that's how she's trying to get the retrial. So I think it's better than the first one. You know, it's if you got Netflix, I would definitely say go give
I've
it
been
a
watching
rip.
that Adam Ruins Everything. I've finished all 20 of them. I'm going back to watch them again. I love that show, dude. It's good. They're about 20-minute episodes, a little bit of comedy mixed in, a lot of facts.
On Netflix.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
What's
he
it
used
about?
to be he used to be on College Humor, and then he had like a web show, and then True TV picked it up. So Adam Ruins Everything. It's like the dude who's like Adam Ruins Security, and it like he exposes all like, but when you go to TSA, like how it really doesn't protect you and stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's that guy. So he has
Well, I haven't
like,
seen it, but
yeah, so he's got like 20 episodes that vary from different things. So it's like Adam ruins weddings, Adam ruins internet, Adam ruins jails, Adam ruins like nutrition. The nutrition one's really crazy because it's like he brings in Harvard experts. So he'll do like a little comedy sketch, like where the girl's like, "It's okay because I need to go buy my vitamins," and he's like, "Actually, those vitamins that you are buying really aren't doing anything for you. They're just overpriced junk." And she's like, "What?"
Yeah.
And then he cuts to like a Harvard professor who will be like, "Hey, actually, most of the stuff that you need for your vitamins you can get just from going outdoors and like the sun and just like being active. Like your body will produce it. These things that people are selling you might enhance you like in certain aspects of it, but like your body doesn't like need it. You can't like digest it and all that stuff. Like it doesn't go out like you don't."
it's not
Take it.
natural.
Yeah. And it's not like what you have been told growing up. And he does the same thing with so he explains that how I talked about this, like how Tylenol is like was created and marketed as, it was basically like if Tylenol was invented today, you wouldn't be able to go buy it over the counter because it's just too close to like controlled substance like the bigger ones like Oxycontin and stuff.
Yeah.
But since back then they were in the pockets of all these lobbyists and stuff, it's created and marketed to like people and everything. And then it was something else first. And then they were like, "Oh, you got to switch that." So like they slapped a better name on it. It's crazy. Like he does that for like all these different industries and stuff. It's really good.
Huh. Interesting. And it's on Netflix, right?
It's on Netflix, yeah. And they're like 18, they're like only 18-minute episodes, and he mixes it up really good to where like you're always engaged. Just kind of corny, but like good.
My goal is to not get stabbed tonight at the Drake concert.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
You guys both going?
Yeah.
Okay, so his show is still going.
Why would it not? It better still go. We're supposed to go tonight.
No. I said his show, like the Adam Ruins Everything, is like
Oh,
still
okay.
going. I was seeing if it was like a
It's
one-time
like,
thing.
fuck, I hope Drake's going tonight.
Did you guys get a lot of trick-or-treaters last night? Because I got a grand total of 0.
You got 0?
Not one.
Do you live in an apartment or house?
House.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a whole like it's kind of like a townhouse neighborhood. Like all houses look the same, and yeah, no one came.
Huh.
We had the lights on. We have like decorations up
Did
on
you
the
see
door.
people outside?
No one was outside.
That's
That's
crazy.
I think like what most people do around here is they just go to the mall.
The mall. Yeah, that's what people have been starting to do here now.
So I got a nice 2 big bowls of candy because we actually have a lot of kids in the neighborhood. So like we better be ready. So now I got
Oh, that's depressing.
Chillish.
Though. What if you're one of those people that hide on like the front porch, like just?
That's
as
what we were
some-
gonna do. Like last night we were talking because I was like, you know what would be fun to do is like dress up and sit on the front porch and just scare kids as they come up and like. It's
Yeah,
just,
that'd be awkward
it.
just to be like.
And Lexi was like, "Can you imagine if you were just sitting out there all night and just nobody came? What a waste of time."
What if you're like just super pumped up, new to the neighborhood like you are, and like nobody just showed
Yeah,
up?
no one showed up at all.
So in our neighborhood, which is, I'm gonna try to say this without fucking sounding out. This is just a big gated community with 90-something houses, and they're all on pretty like large lots. So it's a pretty nice neighborhood. But we did, and so when we went trick or treating last year, it's like fuck, we got to walk like a quarter mile to the next house, and so we did this. It's called trunk or treat. So one of the cul-de-sacs, everybody would pull in, and you would just trick or treat out of the trunk of your car. So it was pretty cool, and so all the kids were there, and I brought my dog because I just like, well, I need something to do because I'm just not the best at like mingling. So I brought the dog, and so I didn't really talk to that many neighbors. It wasn't full blown yet, But they had this little, like, so the neighbors whose yard it was basically on had like a board full of black and orange balloons. And so the kids are able to pop the orange ones, and there's like candy and stuff in it. And the adults pop the black ones. Like, so me and Rachel both got like Starbucks gift cards, you know, so it was pretty cool. But when I was popping mine, somebody was like, hopefully you don't get the Tabasco shot. And I was like, I kind of didn't really like, I was like, oh, that sounds weird. You know, like I didn't really like think about it. And so I popped mine and got a gift card. And I started walking away, and the dude that lives there, his name's Russ. He's like, hey, Kyle wants the Tabasco shot. And I'm like, whatever. Like, I'll take it, whatever it is, you know. So fuck you. Okay, I've talked about this story before. I've taken a spice rum and Bailey shot, which was the worst shot I've ever taken in my life.
Terrible.
I instantly fucking puked. But that was in like my, you know, younger days. The shot I had last night was fucking, it was a double shot of tequila with a little mini thing of Tabasco sauce poured into it. Hands down the worst. He even was like, I was like, this sounds terrible. I've never had it. He's like, you never lost a bet and had to take one of these? And I'm like, fuck, like, no. And I took it, and oh my God, it was the, like, just
that's
imagine,
like a double burn of just
God, it was, like, then there's like people and stuff and like kids and stuff around me, and I'm just like, because I had to take like multiple gulps, kind of like spilled out my mouth and like on my shirt and shit. But I was like, I instantly was like, I wanted to, I'm like, Rachel, we gotta go, because I'm about to fucking puke. But on the whole walk home, I'm like spitting and stuff, because it was like just tequila by itself to me is fucking. But I had to hold it down for the neighbors. Like, I couldn't just be like,
the only time tequila is like tolerable is in a margarita.
Oh, and that's what I didn't see what he was pouring into it, but he just looked like this big half gallon, and then I smell it, and I'm like, no.
Let's peel back the shot for a second, right? So you have a tequila shot, so that's on this side. That is like that's like a specific burn that you get. Like, there's no, if you don't have like a lime going in right after, like I know people who don't
I had
take
no chaser, nothing.
But if you just take a tequila shot, I don't care who you are, there's like a burn. You feel it. It's alcohol. It goes down, and it's a very specific burn. Over here, Tabasco, if you make it your eggs in the morning, you put Tabasco on it, you don't mix it around too good, you get that one bite where you're like, woo, that was a little too much Tabasco. That's a very specific burn, different from tequila. Mixing those together just sounds like a bad.
Dude, I had the most disgusting burst. So on the Tabasco sauce, it wasn't a large. It was just like a little one like that.
That's still a lot.
Yeah.
I think like the recommended serving, quote unquote, is like dashes, like 5 dashes.
Yeah, it was the most disgusting thing. I was fucked up for the next, not like drunk wise. I don't even think I got a buzz from it, but I was fucked up like mentally and physically for the next like 30 minutes. Like, I was like, I need something to wash this down. Like, I need to fucking like, this is just the most. And I had to like. And I just had to stomach it right in front of the neighbors. And so I got to.
Well, yeah, you had to.
I'm going to get him my Bailey's and spiced rum shot. And I'm going to.
What's the cement mixer one? Is that?
No, cement mixer is Bailey's and lemon juice.
Lemon juice, yeah.
Like curdles immediately when you take it. It's like a 21st birthday type of shot.
Yeah, you take it.
But it's actually good.
Not like curdles.
No. You can't take it. You can't take that one. You put it in your mouth, and when you mix it around, it like curdles, and you like either.
No, one of on my birthday I had one. I thought it was kind of good. Like, I knew.
Well, there might be a different version.
Yeah, it might have been like a little like sweeter and stuff, but the Bailey's and spice rum is just one where I like in college I'm like, oh, Bailey's is kind of good. Like, spice rum, that just sounds like it would kind of go good together. So I did like a 50-50 in a shot glass, and I took it and I instantly puked. Like, it I haven't been able to drink spice rum or Bailey's since then. But this one I'm not concerned because I don't like tequila outside of you know, like a margarita, but it was a life changer, man. It fucked me up, and then I just had to bail out of there. I'm like, hey, thanks, dude, but Daddy's out. I'm going to Colby's house.
Yeah, and I gave him a Jello shot. I don't think I've had tequila since Joey's bachelor party. We went on the cruise. Burn, you been on a cruise?
No.
You get like a 15 drink like card basically. So you get 15 drinks a day. No matter what you want, you can be like, I want the fruitiest thing you have, or you can be like, I want Patron. Patron, for those listening, is I think considered one of the nicer tequilas.
Yeah, speaking of Patron, like before you go on, like Patron would be one of the nicest tequilas. But I saw you guys have Total Wine where you're at.
No, but I've been to one
like
in
the
Utah.
huge, massive
Utah.
stores. Yeah, there is one.
Yeah, they had
It's like
a
dedicated to beer, wine, and tons of shit.
yeah. They had like a case of like the more higher end Patron. Like you get like the regular bottle. It's like what 30-40 bucks.
Yeah, about.
They had
40.
like a bottle in there. It was $4,000.
Why?
What?
That's so dumb. It's the black. Was it that black one? No, the black one's not that one. The black one's like.
It was like a
40 something.
darker tequila. Yeah, and I was like, this better be the best goddamn drink I've ever had in my life.
Oh, it's not even worth it, dude. You're just gonna feel hungover in the morning no matter what it is.
That I feel like they just have that on for show. I'm like, I can't think of anyone who's coming in there and buying that bottle. Like, oh, this place has everything. You can even get a $4,000 bottle of tequila.
Like how it would have to be so fucking good.
I don't think you could make something that would make it worth it to me.
But I think it's more geared towards like if you're a tequila drinker, like if you just naturally like the taste of tequila, you'd probably like it. It's like with wine. Like you're not gonna buy like a $300 bottle of wine unless you're a big time wine drinker, right?
So Adam ruins everything, ruins like wine and stuff. It's pretty funny. He said that like they did a thing with like 80 wine experts, quote unquote, and what they did is they served a white wine, like a decent white wine, and then like a nicer white wine, and then they did it with red. And what they did is they just colored the white wine red and said it was more fancy. And everyone was like, "Oh yeah, this one tastes like the Talons. This thing's like it's been aged more."
Bit nutty. I've seen a video that does that. That's with like wine snobs, and they're all just like they're all fucking swirling around. It was just like Franzia box wine.
Yeah. And that's like the one they say is like the best one. Oh, Burns, there's another thing that does that. I already forgot my Patron story, but Fred Meyer, they have like the section where it's like it's like locked up. So there's like the $40 ones, but then they have like this Remy bottle, like a dark, almost like Hennessy looking bottle.
Yeah.
It's like $2,000. I'm like, who the hell's coming to Fred Meyer where I live and dropping $2,000 on this bottle? Like what? Like this just seems like poor product placement in my opinion.
Fuck.
Like what are you doing?
Speaking of the ultimate fuck up that me and Colby did, which we had no choice. We renewed our licenses.
We need a positive first. We need Burns' story first.
Oh yeah, sorry.
What story?
Proposal, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that story. Oh no. I was talking to Jimmy because the lady wants to go look at rings this weekend. So.
Free proposal.
I was gonna take my sister-in-law and just be like, because I kind of have like an idea like what she likes, and I was like, I'll just bring my sister-in-law and like help me shop for her or whatever. And she's like, no, I have to go at least once. So,
yeah, because it's different. So like you would think like, oh, whatever that like square looking one is, like she might not like square. If you pull up with a square one, and she'll accept it and everything, but then she'll down the line she'll be just like, eh.
Yeah.
All right, now Kyle, hit him with our bad news.
Yeah. So me and Colby got a major issue tonight. Our birthdays are his birthday was just celebrated. Mine is tomorrow.
Yeah, mine was Wednesday. What's mine?
And-
Wednesday?
Yeah,
Tuesday.
forgot about that, Kobe. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
And since me and Colby are the
31?
31.
Ooh,
31, there you go.
you're old. How old are you, Burns?
32.
That's it.
We're catching you, man.
You're catching up.
But basically, we renewed our licenses yesterday, and they put the hole in our current license. And nowadays, they don't give you like a printed out paper version. They just give you this fucking huge piece of paper with the barcode on it, basically.
Yeah. They don't take it at bars, do they?
Yeah, so we might be running into some issues tonight, and it might not be an issue.
We'll probably save a lot of money on it.
Well, I'm gonna get fucking hammered before we go, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, we'll just do it. We'll just stop at Andy's apartment, which is where we're planning on meeting anyway.
Oh, okay.
That's so ridiculous. Like they do the same thing. So when you usually get it, like they like.
So you used to get that temporary 7-day, like has your picture on it and can still be scanned and stuff, right?
No, the ones that we have is like so they used to clip it to avoid your license. It's not a valid identification, but then they give you like when you fill out you fill out the paper for your new license, they give you like a copy of that to carry with your license. And most bars or liquor stores, especially at sporting events, they won't accept it.
Yeah.
And right next door in Wisconsin, you go and they just print you a new license right there.
You see, that's why I don't get.
So Kyle, what somebody said that you could do, I know this might wrench the whole, like you just told a really good story about how we're screwed. They said that you can just take your voided ID with the hole punch and a passport.
Oh.
Yeah, you can use a passport. That's valid. No, all you need is a passport. That's a valid ID.
Well, my concern is I know that you can make it like it would work, but typically at like events like that, you know, sometimes it's just different. Like, so you go to like a bar or something, like they can actually like, or you go to like a liquor store, they can like scan it in, but like,
And they have time to look at it and
yeah.
stuff.
So maybe that's what I will take my passport. So, but I if I'm gonna get hammered the freebie way off straight Vaki, maybe I don't need to do that.
It's always the thing with like concerts too is if you're like getting up and down and like drinking during the concert and stuff, then you got to work in like bathroom breaks
Yeah.
and lines and stuff like that.
But I'm just concerned that we enter in and then Drake's not going to come out for 2 hours and then our fuzzy buzzy is going to be no more buzzy fuzzied, you know?
Well, no, that's why we're gonna get to Tacoma first and just chill out by like Andy's place at the place called the Matador,
Oh.
and then we'll just pay attention to when like the opener comes out. There's openers before Migos,
Oh,
so
okay.
when like the openers come out,
How are we going to know this?
Alita's sisters, they're like concert pros.
Oh, okay. But are they going to be with us?
Yeah, we're meeting them. So Andy's gonna meet them, and then we're gonna meet the group there.
But is there going to be a
Andy's
group
scooter.
inside while we're outside?
No, but you can follow a feed. You can follow like. the concert feed.
Okay. Well, that's cool with me. See this?
It's pretty sick.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah.
Where we at time wise? I think I have to poop. I don't want to be the reason you guys end. You guys want to talk without me, and I'll come back.
No, hold it, dude. I've been holding fucking tough.
I'll hold it.
Good
I'll
boy.
hold it in.
Good boy. Great boy. I went out into the wild yesterday with my new product, and it wasn't even the right size, even the right beer size. And
I've seen it.
I would.
I have to
Bert
say
just-
it's quite impressive.
Yep. I have.
I
it.
said
would
the
buy
same
one.
thing.
I would buy one.
It's so pricing is kind of funny because I obviously want to price it to make it worth my while, but I don't want to price because it is, you know, majority aimed at college kids. I don't want to fucking blow out their wallets, you know. But I have a certain number in my head that I want to make at, you know, profit wise. So I'm still debating but it's going to be affordable. But I think the use of it. You know, we do have a lot of older, not like people our age or maybe a little bit younger watching the show. It is fucking perfect for certain occasions that you wouldn't even really think about, like walking around on Halloween. You know, to me previously was like I wouldn't think about that application, but it worked fucking flawlessly. So, yeah, another sneak peek.
So sneak
You
peek into the
toughing that turd
mind.
out. I'm getting through some gas to get to the solid stuff.
Hey Burns, I got a sports topic for you, man. Derrick Rose is back. Welcome.
Oh, dude,
Oh.
dropped a 50 bomb
Dude,
last
that was
night,
so
bud.
emotional.
Dude, I watched every video I could find, dude. I was like watching like the interviews, the post games, everything like that. It is like,
They started him at point guard last night. He's been playing shooting guard.
dude, he like the story that what people who aren't sports fans don't realize is like to win the MVP in basketball is
He was the
very,
youngest.
very hard.
Yeah.
Very hard to be the best player considered in the league because you have to have a good team, like you have to have a good record and be like the best player. He won that, then had 2 serious injuries, and to come back and then drop a 50 bomb and have the game-winning block and everything, like that's
Like
hard.
he looked good last year when he got traded to Minnesota. They've been playing him at shooting guard. Like fucking Jimmy Butler needs to get traded. Just let D Rose start at point guard. and
Yeah, that
trade
was
FG.
awesome.
With Derrick Rose, like it was pretty like emotional. You know, I only watched like the interviews and a couple highlights and stuff, but like he was basically on like the track, like the Brandon Roy track, and he obviously better than Brandon Roy out of the gates,
Yeah.
but like Brandon Roy had a couple injuries and it's crazy.
Retired.
How old is Derrick Rose?
Like 20. Let's see, 2000. What was his rookie year? 2010.
I guess I'll tell
He's
you.
probably
who's
like
up.
28, 29. I'm thinking.
Kyle guess.
Fuck, he's got it probably 28.
Just celebrated his 30th birthday, born
Oh.
in '88.
See, that's what sucks is he missed basically like those 3
The
monster
prime.
seasons. And it's like, you know, now he's going to be looked at, you know, is not necessarily a franchise player, is more just like you know, sign this dude for a year because he'll never, you know, those injury bugs are basically what fucked him. I mean, they were very serious injuries, but like that's what kind of sucks is like I mean, he'll get paid good money. It's the NBA. NBA players, above average get.
He signed that shoe deal that was enormous.
Yeah.
So he'll be fine money wise. I'm gonna look up how much that shoe deal was.
Like, do you think he should start now after a game like that, or is that just an anomaly that he had a game like that?
I think you'd be stupid not to roll him back out there again, see if he can do it again.
Yeah. I mean, like, there was no injuries last night. Like, the Timberwolves, their team is such a shit show right now that, like, they just said, no, you're not playing tonight, Jimmy Butler. Jeff Teague, you're not playing tonight. Wiggins is hurt still. They didn't even play their backup point guard. Tyus Jones didn't play at all either. Rose had, like, 44 minutes last night or something.
Yeah, he seems like he might have got over that injury shit, Like he just.
Well, you can tell, like, he doesn't have, like, he's not going to throw the ball down like he used to when he goes to the lane. Like, he's just laying it up. Like,
but that's not injury wise. Like a 30-year-old Derrick Rose, whether he had injuries or not, probably wouldn't be doing that. Like it's just what happens in like. I mean, even look.
He still has the strength to drive the lane against anyone.
Yeah.
I knew it was an expensive deal. I did not know it was this much. In December 2011, Rose signed a contract extension with Adidas for 10 years worth $250 million.
No
Do they have to pay that all out?
Right now. So in 2008, Rose signed a shoe deal with Adidas for $1 million per year. He also signed with Wilson Sports Good, Skull Candy, Powerade, Force Factor Sports Drink, and a Suburban Nissan dealership. In 2011, Rose was estimated by Chicago business to earn 1.5 to 2.5 million annually in endorsements, ranking just outside the top 10 players in this category. In December 2011, it was reported that Rose signed a contract extension with Adidas worth $250 million over 10 years.
Wasn't that like the meme around his injuries too? That's like, you should have had Nikes on, bud.
Yeah. So 2011, he signed the deal. He also signed this is crazy. So he signed the $250 million deal with Adidas the same year. In that same December, he signed a 5-year extension with the Bulls for $94 million. Guaranteed.
It's crazy that the shoe deal shit all over his actual.
Well, LeBron
contract.
James has like $20 million a year for life with Nike.
Yeah, that's crazy.
God, we're over here fucking scraping by, and these dudes are that's insane.
Okay, so here's the timeline of his thing. So the 2011 was also the year he hurt his leg, tore his ACL the first time. So that was his year after the MVP, the year he signed the 250 and the 94. He took the whole 2012, 2013 season off, came back halfway through 2013, 2014 season, and then he re-injured his right knee. So he only played, how many games is this? Oh my gosh, dude. He only played 2 games? Oh, that's even sadder, dude. He only played 2 games and then came back. But then that wasn't a full injury. He missed 20 games then came back to play in the playoffs and then hurt it again.
Oh, because that's right. It was like the first game of the playoffs or something. Or it might have been the game. I don't remember because it was like something where he came back and I think he had to be like carted off again, and they're just like, oh
yep.
no.
He finished with 23-7 and then got hurt. Oh man.
And I think it was towards the end of like a blowout or something like that. Or that might have been the first initial injury when he was playing during a blowout.
He's also suffered a left orbital bone fracture, but he didn't miss any time. He just wore a mask.
Just because I remember he was going through some like mental shit with the Cavs.
Yeah, well, the Knicks is where he went next, and the Knicks is where it screwed him because they had like 5 point guards.
Yeah, well, he still needed to like work back in as well, but like when he went to the Cavs, I think that's where he thought things were going to be different and like kind of.
It says November 24th, Rose left the Cavs, to reevaluate his future with the NBA. Frustration with injuries caused him to question his desire to continue playing. Then he came back and just worked with the medical staff. Didn't really worry about playing. He suffered 2 bone spurs. Returned to the lineup. Yeah, that's just crazy. He didn't play 2 more months because he had bone spurs in his ankles. That was just last year.
Jeez. Well, it was cool last night seeing him. Like, I'm glad he didn't like full blown.
It was against a good team. It was against a good team too.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't like full blown cry. That would have been a little over the top, but like it was like perfect.
Yeah.
So sweet.
Yeah. If you like sports, dude, that's awesome.
If you like blowjobs, let Burns know. He'll suck you off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hopefully, Jimmy won't be. I would use the term butthurt. I don't think that's something should affect, outside of me and Colby, should affect the show for you guys, the viewers, the listeners. But I ain't going to talk shit. I've been frustrated before in life. You know, Colby does it to me all the time. He doesn't know, you know, so I respect Jimmy for just outright telling him. But I think he was mad at Joker. Joker's, fuck you, Joker. Joker's not even on the show. Have a good one. Enjoy your weekend. Happy birthday to me tomorrow.
Happy November. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy birthday, Kyle.
No sex November is what the kids are calling it.
Yeah, I thought it was
no nut November.
No nut November.
I saw this funny thing on Reddit that was like, it was like, you only get one wet dream. It was funny. All right, ladies and gentlemen, bye.
Bye.